All right, let's talk about something we've all felt, but almost none of us feel like we can actually control. The feeling of being offended. Today, we're diving into a really powerful idea from our source material that you should never just take an offense when someone offers it to you.
I mean, of course you have, right? It's that sharp, really personal feeling when someone's words or actions just hit a nerve. It could be some casual remark, a deliberate insult, or even just feeling overlooked. Whatever it is, it stings, and man, it can stick with you.
But what if that feeling wasn't automatic? The material we're digging into today puts forward a pretty radical idea, that taking offense is actually a choice. It's like a trap laid right in your path, but you don't have to step into it. You hold the key.
So here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll look at what this trap of offense really is. Then, we'll get into the core principle of guarding your heart's treasure. After that, we're going to get super practical with 3 choices you can make when it happens. And finally, we'll talk about the ultimate goal, developing what our source calls an unoffendable heart.
Okay, first up, the trap of offense. You see, the source we're examining doesn't just see offense as, hurt feelings. It views it as a genuine spiritual roadblock, something that can seriously trip you up.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because it's all about a shift in responsibility. Look, the source is really clear. Offenses are going to come your way. People will say and do things that hurt. That's just the fact of life. But the moment it happens, you're faced with a choice. Are you going to accept that deposit of offense into your heart, or are you going to refuse it? The argument is that the power is 100% yours.
And that leads us right into our second section, guarding your heart's treasure. Because if avoiding offense is a choice, then this is the foundational idea that makes that choice even possible. This ancient proverb is basically the cornerstone of the whole argument. Keep your heart with all diligence. The source uses this to frame the heart not just as where you feel things, but as the command center for your entire life. So here's the bottom line. What goes in must come out. If you let in a bad deposit, like bitterness or resentment from an offense, those are the very things that are going to flow out of you later. They'll shape your actions, your words, your whole future. Guarding your heart means you have to be a really strict gatekeeper about what you let inside.
And check this out. This really shows you how deep the concept goes. The Apostle Paul aimed to live with a conscience free of offense, and the Greek word he used was aproskopos. And it's so cool because it doesn't just mean not getting offended, it's a 3-part commitment. You actively avoid offending other people, you refuse to stumble into the trap of offense yourself, and you maintain a clear inner life. It's like a proactive, 360-degree approach to living.
Okay, so that's the theory. But how does this actually work in the real world? Let's move on to our third section and get practical. This is your playbook for the moment an offense comes flying your way.
Our source lays out 3 clear, really powerful choices. First, you can choose to just let it go. Second, you can consciously step back and let a higher power handle the justice part. And third, and this is a big one, you can address the root of the problem by letting go of your own pride. Let's take a closer look at each one.
For that first choice, let it go, the source points to the incredible story of Joseph. I mean, his brothers sold him into slavery. That is an unimaginable offense. But years later, this is what he says to them. He has 0 bitterness. How is that possible? Well, it's because he chose to see a bigger perspective. He reframed the whole horrible experience as part of a grander plan for good. He didn't deny the evil they intended. He just chose to focus on the ultimate good that God brought out of it.
Now, the second choice, letting God vindicate, is all about refusing to take matters into your own hands. The source pulls from Romans 12, which gives this completely counterintuitive advice. Instead of lashing out, you're told to pursue peace. Instead of plotting revenge, you're supposed to actively do good for the person who hurt you. By doing this, you're essentially stepping aside and trusting that true justice will be handled by a righteous judge.
And that brings us to the third choice, which this one might be the toughest of all. Why do we hold on so tightly to insults? Why do we replay them in our heads? The source is pretty blunt about it. It's pride. We feel we deserved better treatment or more respect. The offense isn't just a hurt feeling, it's a direct shot at our ego.
This slide just lays it out so clearly. The proud heart is the one that expects the best seat at the wedding feast, right? It demands recognition. So when it doesn't get it, it gets wounded easily. But the lowly heart, it intentionally takes the lowest seat. It has 0 expectation of getting special treatment. And because of that, it literally can't be pushed any lower. It's already there by choice.
There's just no hook for offense to grab onto.
And this leads us to our final and honestly most powerful section, the unoffendable heart. This is the ultimate destination that all of this is pointing toward. The ultimate example here is Jesus, who invited people to learn from his gentle and lowly heart. And this wasn't a suggestion to be weak or a doormat. It was presented as the direct path to inner peace, a real rest for your souls. The source directly connects this lowliness of heart to being immune to offense.
So this is it. This is the key takeaway. Humility acts like the ultimate shield. When you release your tight grip on entitlement and self-importance, insults and slights just have nothing to stick to. They can't wound a pride that you've already willingly set aside. You become, in essence, unoffendable.
And that's the thought we want to leave you with. Just imagine that for a second. Not just managing offenses a little better, but reaching a state where they just can't take root in you in the first place. What would change in your life, in your relationships, in your own peace of mind if you could truly become unoffendable?